I'm going to talk about funding the IRS. Now, this seems strange as a topic. It doesn't seem particularly worker-centric, especially because nobody really loves paying taxes. But the truth is, funding the IRS is actually one of the key ways that we enact a class politics. Not on the electoral side, but on the governing side. The IRS has steadily been defunded over the last couple of decades, and what this has led to primarily is that the IRS spends more time and energy auditing and enforcing rules against poor and middle-class individuals than it does on the rich. Oftentimes, this is because the rich have more complicated tax profiles than regular people. There's a lot more documents to go through. There's a lot more resources to go through. Oftentimes, those resources are stored in other countries, or in offshore bank accounts, or in complicated schemes domestically, thus making it difficult to audit and making it so that it is high-hanging fruit. On the other hand, people who just have a W-2 and a 401k, or people who just have some, or people who are just independent contractors, or whatever other relationship they have to the economy, it's simpler. There aren't as many things going on. Thus, it's much easier to audit them, and if there's fraud, to enforce appropriately. Now, we can fix that by funding the IRS. One of the benefits of funding the IRS is the amount of money it actually brings back in. Funding the IRS is an investment in the future, not just because it allows us to take control of the money that's coming in, but in a study from a couple of years ago, it actually showed that for every $1 you give to the IRS, $17 comes back to the Treasury. That is an incredible rate of return. I mean, the truth is, if you told me that I could give $1 to something and get $17 back, I would take that deal every single time. I would ask if I could put all my money there, right? But we don't fund it this way because what happens is the more you fund the IRS, the more resources they have to go after the rich. And the rich, who primarily control our politics through donations to politicians and being able to pick up the phone and just call politicians and have them respond, really do not want their assets to be audited in this kind of way because, as many reports have shown, including the Panama Papers, the rich are hiding lots and lots of money, trillions of dollars, in fact, that could be used to benefit the United States and other countries from where they are stealing them away. The IRS then becomes a vital tool for us to begin to take back from the wealthy the resources that they are hoarding from us. If we can take some of that money back from them, where does that money then go? It goes into social programs. It makes available the justifications for larger programs like Medicare for all, Social Security for all, nationalization of healthcare, and things like that. Now, as I've said before, I am a believer and proponent of modern monetary theory. However, taxes are an important way to, one, counter inflation, or the deleterious effects of inflation, and two, in order to maintain a democratic balance. We can actually make our society better and more democratic by increasing the funding of the IRS and allowing them to tax the rich and to audit the rich in a more minute fashion. If we don't do this, we are going to continue to see that the tax burden is moved away from the rich and onto the poor, which will constantly make it so that politicians and other government officials have constantly complain about things like deficits and our inability to pay for certain services. And whenever that arises, the inevitable conclusion has always been by both parties, we have to cut. And instead of cutting services that benefit the rich or services that kill people overseas, like the military, the things that are always put on the table for cutting are these important social programs like Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security, which benefit people in their everyday lives. The point I'm trying to make here is, in order to get through the progressive or left-wing or whatever you want to call it agenda to fundamentally reshape this country, what we have to do is make sure that we are able to tax the IRS an appropriate amount. Sorry, not tax it, to fund the IRS an appropriate amount in order to tax the rich. This is the only way that we can achieve our goals. If we don't do that, we will forever be stuck waiting for someone else to find a way to get money to the government so that we can justify the many wonderful proposals that would make our lives better and improve our lives.